I've had a lot of requests lately for a mud cake recipe, especially one with dark chocolate that's really, really moist and dense. Well, I've delivered. Let's make this beautiful, rich, moist, dark chocolate mud cake on the One Pot Chef. To make our mud cake into a saucepan over medium heat, I've got 180 grams, or about one big block, of semi-sweet dark chocolate. I've just broken it up into pieces. To that I'm also adding in 225 grams, or about 2 sticks, of butter. I'm using unsalted butter today. I'm also adding in half a cup of milk, 3/4 cup of water. This is just room temperature water. I'm also adding in 3 teaspoons of instant coffee powder. Now, I know this sounds unusual, but it doesn't make the cake taste like coffee. What it does is it enhances the flavour of that dark chocolate and really brings out its ultimate flavour. It really does make a big difference. And I'm also putting in 1 3/4 cups of caster sugar, or superfine white sugar. And just using a spoon, we're just going to gently stir this around for about 5 to 6 minutes, or until everything has melted together. Once that's melted and smooth, we can take that off the heat completely and allow it to cool for about half an hour. Our chocolate mixture has cooled, so now we're going to add in the rest of our ingredients. We've got 1½ cups of plain all-purpose flour, 1/4 cup of self-raising flour, 1/4 cup of unsweetened cocoa powder, and 2 eggs. And just using a whisk, we're just going to whisk everything together until smooth. Look at how beautiful and thick that cake batter is. Beautiful. Next, I've got a 22cm cake tin, which I've just lightly greased and lined with some non-stick baking paper on the base, and we just need to pour our cake batter in. And this is ready to go into the oven. Preheated oven, 150 degrees Celsius, 300 degrees Fahrenheit, for about an hour and a half, or until a skewer inserted directly into the centre comes out with a few moist crumbs clinging to it. If it looks like the cake is starting to burn partway through the baking process, you can take the cake out, put a bit of foil over the top, and put it back into the oven. Once out of the oven, allow the cake to cool completely in the tin, and then we'll get started on working on our chocolate ganache. To make the chocolate ganache, I've got a block of semi-sweet dark chocolate, about 180 grams, and to that I'm going to add in 1/3 cup of whipping cream, or any cream suitable for whipping. And all we need to do is pop this into the microwave for 2 minutes on high, stopping after 1 minute to give it a good stir with a metal spoon. Beautiful and thick and glossy. We're just going to set this aside for about 15-20 minutes to allow it to cool, and the ganache will thicken up a bit more and it'll be perfectly spreadable to put on top of the cake. Once the cake is cooled, you can transfer it onto a plate, and then all that's left is to top it with this beautiful chocolate ganache. And here we have our completed dark chocolate mud cake, simply divine. I've cut a slice off there, it's gooey and gorgeous and rich and moist. I can't wait to dive in and have a taste. Rich and dense and moist, oh, I cannot wait to dive in and have a taste. Oh, this is naughty. Oh my god. I better double taste that just in case. That is absolutely stunning. The cake is so dense, but it's really, really moist. And you've got that lovely chocolate ganache over the top. It's got a really, really strong dark chocolate cocoa-y flavour, but it's still sweet. And it's absolutely guaranteed to satisfy even the most hardcore chocoholic. Well, I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Check out my other videos at OnePotChefShow.com. And until next time, see you later. If you wanted to, you can make this with milk chocolate instead of dark chocolate, but personally, when it comes to mud cake, I think it definitely has to be a dark chocolate when you're making this, because it really does make all the difference. You get that strong, rich cocoa flavour that you just don't get with milk chocolate. But as I said, if you want to use milk chocolate, feel free.